Good afternoon, I'm Fran Stoddard. Thanks for joining us across the fence for our first recipes program of 2020. We extend Happy New Year wishes to all of you and think you'll enjoy today's theme, which is favorite recipes for 2020. Before we meet our chefs, we have a couple of items to take care of. First, the winner of last month's free drawing for the Delicious Pastries cookbook is Lois Butterfield of Randolph, Vermont. Congratulations, Lois. What a nice way to start the new year. You'll be getting your cookbook in the mail any day now. Our free drawing this month is for the cookbook Simply Vegetarian. It's a 96-page full-color book with step-by-step images of each recipe. This cookbook will definitely keep you eating healthier in the year ahead. To get started with today's recipes, I'm joined by Sandy Niquette of Colchester. Sandy has been a guest chef with us before, so welcome back to Across the Fence.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And part of why she's been here is because she has won many culinary awards at the Champlain Valley Fair. So do you have and here are some, actually, I just have to show this. This is just, I don't know if you can see this. This is just from this year. It's a bag full of incredible pieces. So we're going to talk about an award-winning quiche in a moment, but this is a full bag just from this year.
Just from this year's fair. Yep.
This is who I'm talking to. So a favorite category of yours?
Well, I have a history with the white bread because I won the Best in Show the very first time when I was 14 years old. So that's kind of I use the same recipe every year. Wow. Sometimes I win, sometimes I don't.
Oh, that's so interesting. And what other categories? So to win all of these awards, you must enter into a lot of different categories.
Yes. One of the things the fair has is a judging of specific categories, and you can enter any one or all of the categories. I generally spend an entire day baking. And I enter pretty much every category except for the men only and the juniors, because of course I don't qualify for those. But otherwise it's white bread, dark bread, cookies.
Great. Awesome.
Kind of thing.
Do you have a favorite recipe besides the white bread? That's your favorite category, or maybe it is the white bread because you won when you were 14.
White bread. Well, I also have a history with chocolate chip cookies. My first entry was when I was 6 years old, and I didn't get anything, and I cried and my mother knew, because I put too much salt in them. Oh. They gave me a green honorable mention ribbon because I cried.
Are they crunchy or are they soft?
I prefer the chewy, yeah.
Yeah,
I
chewy.
make the soft when I make them.
So well, let's, before we get to other things, let's talk about your award-winning quiche. It's got a blue ribbon. What is your secret for quiche? How do you like your quiches? Why do you think this won?
I just like a lot of stuff in it. You know, I mean, the cheese and the eggs and the half and half are really nice, but I put a lot of caramelized onions, ham, mushrooms, and sweet peppers. Great. Fried up in there for lots of flavor.
So you prepare all those things in advance. You don't just throw them in. You caramelize the onions.
Yeah, the vegetables are fried up ahead of time.
Right.
And of course, that pastry is, instead of a pie crust, which would sometimes be mostly Crisco, it's like half butter, so it's
oh, there's another secret
Richard's
you're
pie
giving
crust,
away.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing that people who might be entering, you said there earlier, a lot of people, not as many people are entering, so what a fun thing. How do you encourage people to enter into a contest like this?
Show them my ribbons, and I tell them I do get money too.
Ah, okay, well that's a good reason.
I do get money for actual prizes for these winning. I usually figure if I win enough to make up for my ingredients, which is like easily $100 once I get through with all the eggs and the butter and the flour, and as long as I win enough to make I feel like I've won.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Well, exciting and wonderful. Sandy, congratulations on your amazing bag full of awards, and we hope you continue on. It probably encourages all of us to go out and cook.
I hope so.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll go this way, and Carolyn Peak will join us, and we'll see what your favorite recipes are.
Well, actually, my favorite recipes are ones that other people have given me, or ones that I just found that looked good and then turned out to be good. So I'm going to start with our main course, and I have two casseroles. Excuse me. This one here is called Make Ahead Chicken Bake. And it's got, of course, cooked chicken. It has celery and hard-boiled eggs and just a whole lot of other things in it. And then you just put it in the refrigerator for overnight if you want to. And let's see if I can get some of this out. Nice creamy, chickeny, and it's got chow mein noodles on top, which I had never worked with chow mein noodles before. But anyway, it gives us a really nice chicken meal, part for a chicken meal anyway. And then to go with that, I have golden potato casserole. Now, I will warn you, this recipe would pretty much fill the pan if you put everything in. So I recommend that you make one where you pretty much fill the pan, and then put the rest of it into a small dish if you've just got a couple of you, like my husband and myself, and make a little one that you can have for supper one night or something like that. And it is really good. I'll guarantee that for you. Now, of course, I've always got to have something for dessert. And I'm going to start up at the front here. I have 2 cookies, and they're made from the same recipe. And this recipe was given to me by Cindy Coburn from Chelsea. And it is so easy that anybody could do it, because you just take a cake mix a flavor that you like. Now, I made 2 of them. I made one with strawberry cake mix and one with lemon cake mix. You just mix them with some oil and some eggs and put them out as on your plates, and it's really good. And then from Renee Flint from Northfield, I have a cinnamon coffee cake. I'm trying to see, where is this? I guess that right there would be the best place for it. And I did learn one thing: if you're making a coffee cake and going to make it in a bundt pan, put the first batch of nuts on the bottom and then put a layer in the middle, because otherwise all my nuts are on the bottom of this cake. But I'm going to cut a piece, and this is when the weather's cold, sometimes you like to have people in just for something to do. So, there's my coffee cake with the layer of nuts on the bottom and the one in the middle. And I see Marco is already in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea, and I'm going to scoot off with the coffee cake.
See, I came in because I'm people, and I figure like, well, maybe I can get a coffee cake for being people.
Sure, you can get a coffee cake for being people. I'm always glad to meet people.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay.
Okay. So, asking me what my favorite recipes are is such a hard question, because there's so many recipes that I love. But just as I have like my old staples, I am also constantly finding recipes that quickly become my new favorites. So I am going to start with this steak stir fry. And I love Asian cuisine, and being able to make it at home is so convenient. This recipe features sirloin steak strips, carrots, green onions, green peppers, and I put it in this clear dish so you can see all the pretty colors in there. So along with this dish, there's soy sauce, there's ginger, there's other spices, and I'm sure this is going to become your favorite as well. And as I serve it, I like serving it over rice because I like rice, but you can also serve it over mashed potatoes or pasta. So this is probably going to become one of your new favorites. So just look at that. I mean, isn't that wonderful? Okay, and for my next recipe, speaking of potatoes, I never know what to do with my leftover mashed potatoes. So until I found this recipe. And you start with 3 cups of mashed potatoes, then load them with bacon, 2 cans of cheese, green onions, then bread them in a mixture of panko bread with bread and Parmesan cheese. and there is some serious flavors in these little balls. So once you have breaded them, you proceed to fry them, and then the final result is this little melty bites that are gooey inside, and they work perfect as a side dish or as appetizers, or even like little snacks for the kids or the adults, or for any day of the week. I guarantee you are probably going to make mashed potatoes just to make these little bites, and you can see in there like all the nice ingredients. And I also want to remind everyone that these are just a few of the recipes that we include in the pamphlet that we send every month. So we have extra recipes that are a fun surprise every month. And Fran will tell you how to get them at the end of the show. Now, for my next recipe, I have expressed here many times that I love cheese. And brie cheese is one of my favorite soft cheeses. I like it baked, and I found a recipe for this brie tomato and basil pasta. It's so easy to make. You basically just make your pasta, saute your ingredients, and put them all together, and the brie cheese melts in there, and it's so easy to make. So I hope you give this recipe a try. And now, Fran, for my last recipe, I have this chocolate amaretto pie. But this is not your typical custard pie. Yeah. It has amaretto liqueur that you then top with whipped cream.
Oh,
and look at that.
So fabulous.
So
oh my word.
It's like, you know, your basic whipped, custard pie, yeah, but it's elevated with the amaretto liqueur there.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, these are incredible things. I'm sure that you want to know how to get some of these recipes. You can go online to Across the Fence's website. Go to uvm.edu/extension and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipe tab highlighted in green on the right-hand side of the web page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped self-addressed business-size envelope to Favorite Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. We'll use your return address for the free cookbook drawing. And even if you're not ordering the recipes, you can still send along your name and address to be entered in the free drawing. The address again is Box 188 in South Hero, and the zip code is 05486. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks to our fabulous chefs. We wish you good cooking, and thank you for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard.